Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Manic Minus. I'm hoping for a nice, calm, quiet, peaceful recording session that involves nobody that looks like him. But we shall see. In fact, I have very little idea of what to expect, because we're going to play a custom level or two, or a community level, as they seem to be called these days. So I've downloaded a few from the Discord server, which I have recently discovered. They put little tags on them, as you can get a rough idea of what sort of thing they are, which seems hopeful. So I've downloaded 5, of which I don't know very much about, but none of them should be too long, so I'm hoping that we can play 2 in a single level, but depending on the length, a single video even, depending on my ability to speak English. Where is this one? So this is the one that I think is going to be interesting. Let's just have a play of this. Yes, custom levels. These should be interesting, because I won't know what to expect. Another operation has gone awry, and 2 of our miners, Sparks and Axel, have gotten lost in the caves. Those ragamuffins. Both were operating highly valuable mining vehicles. Well, you were kind of asking for trouble giving it to that pair of wallies, weren't you? Sparks in a granite grinder and Axel in a chrome crusher. What is worse is that we have also lost contact with our mining HQ down there. Ah, good. So what you're saying is that everything has gone completely tits up and you expect me to make things better? Sheesh, you've got an overestimated opinion of me. We have at least managed to re-establish contact with Sparks, so you must guide him through the cavern system to locate Axel and the missing base, all while keeping the miners and their vehicles alike relatively intact. Most of our heavy drilling machines are currently deployed elsewhere, so we cannot afford to bring down any more at this time. Once you have found your way back to base, gather an additional 150 energy crystals. Indeed! Hello! How do I work the controls on this again? I've only got 70 seconds of air. I'd better get moving. Is this my Sparks? Because I somehow don't know what it is. Well, he is a geologist, so that's lovely. I need to uncover fewer monsters. That's what I need to do. Right, because when I uncover new caverns, of course, I will, when I uncover new caverns, I'll unlock new supplies of air, which will be invaluable for not dying. So that will be most exciting, won't it? I'm also going to try and reveal the minimum number of crystals possible, because, of course, I don't want to deal with none of you lot. Interesting to see them sleeping. That's not something I've ever seen before. Can I wake them up? How do I boing in this? Good evening, gentlemen! Yes, I can. Fascinating. So they curl up and sleep like little cats. How fascinating. It's not something I've ever seen before. Very interesting. This is the joy of doing custom levels, you see. We should discover and explore new things that we have not seen before. I also think that this little star means that the unit is essential in that it can't be beamed up in order to prevent you from... let me just step on a few spiders, there we are. That's made everything in the world better. In order to prevent you from making a level unwinnable by beaming out something that you desperately need, such as... We beam down a fan on the front of this thing, blow some of the air away. Oh, bats! Bloody hell, it's been a long time since I've seen a bat in this game. Sheesh. Too long. Never in my life did I think I'd miss the bats in this game, but somehow I do. My goodness, it has been a very long time since we've seen a bat. But I think I don't think there's anywhere I can go here, is there? That clearly just leads me to a dead end. An example of a level from the base game where you could screw yourself over by beaming up a vehicle would be... Oh sheesh, was it called Rubble Trouble? Was it called Explosive Action? I can't remember. This is a long, scary... Well, this is a badness, isn't it? This is a bad outcome. 20 monsters. Right. feel like I'm at Monster Piccadilly Circus and everyone's just commuting around. Good! They didn't notice me, despite the fact that I was screaming like an idiot. But other than that, everything went absolutely toppingly. What have we got in here? Not a great deal. I don't mind the look of that thing on the other side of head. No, good. We'll come back for all these energy crystal seams another day, I think. How are we doing on it? Okay, we're up to 40 minutes of that. That's good. There might be something of interest there. I don't really wish to walk down here because it's going to be bloomin' dangerous. And obviously I've got nowhere to repair my vehicle. And if I lose this, then I'm guessing either the mission will fail or I'll just be a little bit screwed over. Oh good. Oh good. More monsters. I was so frightfully worried that I might not have to deal with any more monsters. Just try and meander my way through it. Ah, good. Another dead end. Tremendous. We zoom out a bit further. Okay, it looks like that would link in with a previous area that I've been, which would be useful later, but possibly not now. Mind you, if I smash through there, I might get access to caverns here. Also, we got this sorts of stuff over there, and some stuff through there that might be worth having a look at. Alright, I am going to try and scoot my way down the side without being spotted by anybody. And yeah, have a quick look through here, see if I can access, because it looks like there's quite a big cave here. Oh, and a little water as well. Hooray! Good. How's my air gone down? Good to see Axel is safe and sound with his Grime Crusher. Now the two of you can get back to HQ. I quite agree. Because there's two people. That's how. See, I used my brain for once in my life. Right, can I scoot this away? Okay, so we did have 40 minutes of air. Now we found Axel, and we've got much less air. And no base. Okay, never mind. I am going to hope that we don't encounter any ice monsters, because so long as we don't encounter any ice monsters, the Chrome Crusher should be safe. So, I think that I've left my map behind, but never mind. I think that the Chrome Crusher should be safe. So for the sake of not trying to manage two vehicles at once, and also partially for the sake of doing a level in third person, which should spice it up a little bit compared to all the top-down levels that we've done before, I'm going to maintain this sort of approach. What's on the other side of here? Not much of interest. Where are those monsters coming from, and where are they going? I have no idea. Allow me to identify them. Well, this might have been where they started from, but it's not where they are anymore. Nope, they're gone now. Marvellous, tremendous, excellent. This makes me happy. Let me relocate my frostrum. We can carry on with our lives. Right, I don't think I can get through that top wall there by that sleepy peepy monster. So, I do find myself wondering if the monsters aren't trying to destroy either myself or Axel, then do I really have to worry about anything other than the oddly stationary bats, which are adorable but also a bit weird? This is interesting. How are we going to reach the base? That, my friend, is a good question. I have no blooming clue. I think that what we're going to do is... Actually, I don't, because I wanted to get like a tunnel transport or something to get the... some crystals, to get some crystals across, but actually I don't think that's going to work frightfully well. What it seems like is there's an undiscovered cavern on the far side of here, so there's potential, I think there's potential that we could access it from round the back, so to speak. So we've got ourselves a support station now, so we no longer need to worry about that front. So the two things I need to do are try to make the camera actually follow the vehicle. Thank you very much. And I also need to step on a few spiders. There we are. A bit of pest control internship. I need to find my way back to base without revealing, ideally, any crystals, because, of course, I don't want any monsters to spawn that are then going to scamper off and eat them. Although, saying that, I could build a tool store on this side of the river, and then crystals could be deposited in there, couldn't they? And then that would perhaps allow me to collect crystals without having to worry about the fact that we're going the wrong blooming way. It's an interesting movement animation. Yes, that might help, but only in the only in a short frame of time. With the Chrome Crusher, I could shoot that, couldn't I? But then how the hell am I actually going to get the Chrome Crusher away from where it is? Now that I think about it, because it can't jump, which means me leaving him there was not even a choice. Breaking none of these down would help, would it? No, I don't think it would. Okay. We can get through here. Okay. With a wee bit of thinking and a larger amount of arsing it up, I think I have a chance of doing this. Okay, I need to walk all the way around here. Are you kidding me? I need to go all the way back around here and through here again. Oh my goodness. Unless, do you think I could be a little bit sneaky? Oh, this has been upgraded? At least partially. Do you think there is any possibility on this green earth of ours that I could sort of sneakily shoot my way through a corner here? Just take off a corner. I'm gonna spend crystals if I do this wrong. I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna keep trying because I'm an idiot. If I sort of meander my arse as far into the corner as is humanly possible, there we are. Then, no, not that, you're undoing all my hard work. Stop being daft. Right, now, what possibility do I have? Oh, for goodness sake, from where? From there. You want to turn around and go home again? Yes, you are. That's marvellous. I'm grateful for that. It's the first good decision you people have ever made. Clicking but it ain't firing. Okay, fine. This idea isn't going to work. This is a bit of a pain in my bum. Alright, I am going to have to, unfortunately rather slowly... This isn't meant to be the slow bit. Thank you very much. I am going to have to, unfortunately rather slowly, work my way back to the Chrome Crusher because I need to... Oh, I think that was just one of my people eating a sandwich, actually. I don't actually think that was anything to be frightened of. Yes, this is tricky, because my base can't really do anything, because they've only got 2 functioning crystals, because of course I need the power station, I need the support station running at all times, in order to produce oxygen. So, I'm not wholly sure I know precisely how I'm going to wangle this, but, okay, mining these out would keep me safe, but, thank you. Yeah, mining these out would keep me safe, but I'm just going to operate under the daft assumption that everything's going to be fine, and they're just going to waltz away. That's a lot of angry people. Okay, let's pretend like everything's fine. Because there really is no other way I can see of getting about at the moment. But then as soon as I walk all the way back, I'm then going to have to drive the Chrome Crusher all the way back, so this is going to be really rather a long and drawn-out process. I was hoping these levels wouldn't involve any long drawn-out processes. Maybe if I break through here. Oh, no. That's really freaking bad. Well, we've made a shortcut. That's grand. The problem is the next monster that wakes up or spawns is going to make a bloody beeline for that. This is very bad. Very bad indeed. Because it does seem to be being kind in that it's not revealing crystals in walls that seem completely necessary that I break down. Oh, I might bust through one of these walls as well, actually, because that will give me a significant shortcut as well. Yes, let me start trotting you over in this direction. Yes. No. That's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. Because it seems like there are some monsters that just spawn randomly. I mean, I can keep the Chrome Crusher around to defend them with its laser. But then that's only, you know, it's only going to go so far. This is the only wall I've seen that they seem to climb out of without me being anywhere near them. So if I get rid of this might at least push them off, and then hopefully they'll only spawn a bit further away. But the sooner we get access to the main base, then the sooner we can start getting some crystals over. So let me see if I can do something here. Hope that this doesn't consume any crystals. No, it's starting to consume crystals. Great, that's brilliant. What was that explosion? I do not know. There was some stuff falling down here. Well, that's marvellous, because this don't go no place. Right. Okay, good. The drain crystals are spawning over there. That's marvellous. I can live with that. If they'd spawned over here, we would have been completely screwed. Speaking of being completely screwed, this plan failed miserably. What should we do now? I don't really know. Okay, let's have a little reconnoiter on the map here and see what areas we haven't been through, which might be useful. Can't access there. What if there's a spot behind him? That seems possible. Because other than that, unless there's something in here, which wouldn't really serve a great deal of purpose. Oh, wait, hang on. What's that? What's this? Would you move your frustrum? Thank you very much. I could boing across there, couldn't I? Yes, I could. Okay. Okay, we've got a new plan. The old plan blew up in our face, but don't you worry. If at first you don't succeed, wander around randomly in the vein, hope that you'll figure it out. Where am I going? Hopefully nowhere near it. Yes, here we are. This is where I want to be. If I jump across here, then I might be able to make a new pathway in order to access the base. Brilliant! Right. You're all gonna wander off and get crystals, aren't you? Of course you are. That is not excellent. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to worry. I'm going to worry a lot. I am going to use the laser to get rid of this monster. Because because otherwise people are just going to activate him as soon as they walk over here. And I have a horrible feeling he's going to get away with this crystal because I'm not going to be able to shoot him in time, and he's going to despawn into a wall as soon as he hits 20 crystals. What I'm actually going to try and do is get my arse completely stuck. Yeah, there's a brilliant plan, Phil, by all means. Oh, if you wake up that man that's next to you, I will write a strongly worded email to your mother. And he got away with the crystal. I tried my best, but as ever, my best wasn't good enough. Right, never mind. What's next on the agenda of failure and misery? I have no idea. All right, let's get that away. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do this by trying and probably failing. What I'm going to try and do is pick up this crystal without this monster waking up. Okay, that went a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to go. So I'm just going to leave you to sort that little problem out. If we'd woken him up, I would have written a strongly worded email to your mother as well. Other than that, everything seems to be going tremendously. So, as soon as we've got those few crystals out of the way, then I don't think we'll have all that much more to worry about. How many miners can I support? Presumably 10. Yes, so let's bring down a few more peeps. That seems like a brilliant idea. You daft felon, you. Right, and now we'll bring down another Sparks and another Jet, and then probably another Axle as well. Yep, because that's just how life goes. Okay, never mind. Okay, well this has gone, I mean, not brilliantly well, but it hasn't been an unmitigated disaster. Nobody's died. We've only lost one crystal, and hopefully there aren't exactly 150 crystals on this level. Hopefully there are a tad more than that. I don't know if I want to go that way. I don't know if I want to go that way. You know what else I'm going to do, now that I think about it? Is there anybody who's like a mile away from home? No, good. I just want to get hold of everybody, please, and if you'd all go and get yourselves a gun, I would be highly grateful. It didn't look like Bandit actually got the message. He was slightly too busy falling over and nursing his bruised arse cheek. Other than that, I think we're going to be alright. I'd like to, I have a feeling I'd like to regret going in here. No. No demons of rock and fire yet. Yeah, I want to come through here because there's a recharge seam here, isn't there? Which, if we can have one of the... I was going to say if we can have one of those close to base, then that will be good. Except we've already got one close to base. There's no need to worry about it, Phil. Brain dead, blithering idiot. Never mind. I wish to get a few rocks. Ah, would you look at that? Have they done any of the buildings? No, we haven't. That's fascinating. I didn't know you had that flexibility in the level editor, that you could actually block off certain vehicles. That's fascinating. That means I can't get a tunnel transport. Fascinating! Right. Well, I've suffered a lot, despite the fact that I've only been here 5 minutes. So I'm going to put myself in a truck. I'm just going to build an upgrade station, because I need one of those and I haven't got one. So, might be going a second truck actually. I think it could be, Sorry, there's a blanket on the sofa there, and I thought it moved in my peripheral vision, and I didn't think the cat was in here, and she's not in here, and she's not under the blanket, so hopefully it didn't move. Unless it's grown its own form of sentience. Be a bit worrying if it has. But no, let me pick somebody to go in a truck. You can go in a truck, because I can't buy a proper aircraft for you, so you're just going to have to live with a truck instead. Where's my Chrome Crush? It would probably be a good idea to bring that home so that it's safe, because if I lose this, I can't get another one. And I've also just realised this is with the exception of the small mobile laser cutter, going to be the only small vehicle, the only laser vehicle that I'm going to be able to bring along. I could bring a mining laser, but then that's a little bit different to the a little bit different compared to the laser vehicles. So I want to explore around, collect up the crystals, probably build a perimeter of fence. That would probably be a cracking idea, wouldn't it? Let me stick some around here, and then that should keep us vaguely safe. And then while the trucks are here, I'm going to... What? Why can't I? Oh, because we've not got any ore. Right. That explains why I can't upgrade these things. That goes a long way to explaining why I can't upgrade these things. Because everybody's so busy faffing around with crystals, nobody's worrying about getting any ore. So let me address that little problem by making use of a significantly larger turning circle than that of my colleagues. Just drop a little bit in here. There we go. And then we'll get a couple of these trucks upgraded, and then we should be in a slightly better position to carry on with our lives, shouldn't we? We've been going 25 minutes already. Sheesh. Maybe we won't do 2 levels in a video. I don't really know, to be quite frank with you. I'd like to do 2 different levels in a video because I'd like to show off more of what the community has produced wherever possible. So I feel like that would be nice. But then if the levels are going to be particularly long, I'm not really in the mood to make another 2-hour and 50-minute video like we did with Rocky Horror. So perhaps you will forgive me if I shy away from such a prospect. Right, we've got plenty of ore now. Let's get this all upgraded. What happened to the granite grinder? It's over there, and then we'll carry on. I like this. I like this level. And I assume the fact that taken for Granite is a bit of perhaps a slight reference, but it seems sheesh, Alicious, get inside the fence, get inside the fence. They're actually not going to go for they are going to go for the base. Okay, that surprises me. I would have expected them to yeah, I would have expected them to go for the crystals, but they didn't. I expected them to go for the crystals that are over. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So someone's been woken up. That's not good. There were 2 crystals here, which vanished. That's also not good. Can I kill him before he escapes with them? My best chance of doing that is killing him via fence. So I'm going to hope and pray, cross my fingers, and stand in a fairy ring of toadstools and all the other daft things people do in order to try and improve their chances at life, that he's going to walk into the fence and die, and thus drop his crystals back here, which would be lovely. Okay, he didn't have any crystals in him. I can only hope and pray that the 2 that we left there have thus already previously been picked up by a truck and brought home. That's my hope. Whether that is the reality of my situation or not, I have nailed Baldies. Which, thank you. Right. My goodness. I mean, this is the point. This is the fun of doing a custom level, because it's going to be a bit random and a bit chaotic and mysterious, and we're not going to know what to do until we try, right? Because we've got to try and guess our way through, inevitably fail a little bit, and then come back at it stronger, and hopefully not lose so many crystals that we can't get to 150. But, there's definitely some monsters in here, because we can see them on here. I was going to say that most of the caverns we've discovered around about here haven't had sleeping monsters in them compared to the ones that we've found over here. But no, playing these levels and them being slightly frightening and chaotic is half of the fun, right? I mean, it's also why we played and enjoyed the Baz levels, because they were different and interesting, and they introduced new concepts and new ideas and new challenges compared to just replaying the old levels again and again. Is that an ore seam? Long time since I've seen one of those. Mainly because they're slightly superfluous, because an ore seam is no more valuable than a single square of rubble, which always seemed a little strange to me. Surely it would have made more sense to upgrade the ore seams to have more than 4. I can understand them having 4 in for the sake of consistency with the crystal seams, but then I could also understand them having more in because you already get 4 pieces of ore out of a single piece of rubble. So perhaps upgrading them to have, say, 10 pieces of ore in them or something would be a bit more useful, but I don't know. I'm not going to try and peer into the minds of the people that designed the game this is based on 25 years ago, so I shan't even attempt such a thing. Right, let's come from the other side, and then we'll have sorted out this blob here in the middle. How are we doing for crystals? Not bad at all. I'm going to get Axel out of there, actually, because until I need it. Oh yes, they're getting scared by the bats, aren't they? I keep forgetting the bats are here. Mainly because oddly the bats weren't in Basmod, were they? I have actually no memory of seeing a bat in Basmod. In fact, I think the last time I saw the bats was shortly after the 1.0 release came out, or maybe just before. I don't actually recall seeing one before then. So yes. Hopefully we'll see more of the bats, because as much as they are a big pain in the bum, they are an integral part of the base game. So it would be nice to have them as a mechanic that one needs to deal with again. But I do like that at least at one point in the game's history there was a button where you could turn off whether the bats could scare your monsters, could scare your people even. Don't hire a monster to mine this planet down. I don't think that's going to go frightfully well for any of us. I think we'll just notice some severe crystal embezzlement if we try that little recruitment concept. Okay, good. Not doing too terribly, actually. Let me zoom out a little bit so we see a bit more of where we're going. Yeah, there's a good bit of real estate here that we haven't thus explored. So, what? I appreciate your enthusiasm. Right. Good evening, gentlemen. I should probably turn action stations on, shouldn't I? Now we've observed that again, haven't we? You could shoot the one who's awake rather than him, but by all means you do you, friend. Right. Where is he going? Is there a visible, an accessible crystal that he's after? Okay, well there's him. This is actually going to be a problem, because every time I turn action stations on, they're all going to wander off and start causing mayhem. Where is he going? What is he attempting to do with his life? I really have no idea, but it honestly doesn't matter. He's dead now. And that makes the whole world right. Right! Moving on with life. Sheesh. Okay, okay. Let's keep wandering around and mining out some more bits and bobs. I know there are a lot of energy crystal seams that we haven't yet mined out, and I will go and sort those, but I want to get, perhaps, I was going to say a few more people in trucks. What I really like is... Okay, from over there. That's not an enormous problem. I am going to redirect the granite grinder because I don't want it to reveal any more crystals while we are attempting to deal with these two. So I'm going to leave them for a little while to make their way across. Oddly, I would have expected them to go that way rather than coming this way, but maybe it is slightly shorter. I don't know. I haven't been out there and measured it with my funny wheelie machine, which because of the cooldown, there's no way the fence is going to be able to deal with this all on their own. In fact, I'm probably going to have to bring the Chrome Crusher in to assist. Except I can't, because there's nobody in the blooming thing. Right, this is less than optimal. I'm going to have to get people who are in trucks who have guns to get out of trucks, because we need every single additional gun possible. That's an interesting direction to throw from, my friend. Ah, this is bad. But it has caused a distraction, which is excellent. So I'm going to bring you back inside the fold, where you're vaguely safe. Where are they going? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to achieve? I love that you just waltz past monsters that are right in front of you in order to go after the one that you've actually targeted. Have you repaired automatically? That's nice. Okay, that's those two sorted out. Where are they going? There's no pathway that connects them to my base, is there? Where are they going? Just leave him alone. As much as it, pains me to say that. But don't viciously murder him. Where is he going? Is there a crystal somewhere I've forgotten about? No, there isn't. Where is he going? Can somebody repair this, please? Can we make that top priority? No. They have decided, with their tactical hats on, that the best possible plan they could come up with to attack my base is to walk 16 miles away to get ammunition, then walk all the way back, carrying that heavy ammunition, so that they can then throw it at my base. Instead of... how do I put this? Not doing that and collecting a boulder from here, or from here, as somebody actually tried to do, which was vaguely sensible, if rather irritating. So oh, I can have a mining laser. That's really good, actually. I'm going to have one there, please. I'm going to bring down a super teleport pad as well, and I'm going to bring down a second support station because I want more people. And yeah, you lot might as well just shoot them in the face. At the very least, get rid of one of them. The fact that I put the monster strength up is slightly biting me on the arse now, and when we get around to doing the remaster campaign, I might have to turn that back down. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and preserve my dignity by not doing such a thing. So, never mind. A monster's going to be triggered every single time I walk over here, because if so, that's going to be a little tiny bit of a pain in my backside. I think another thing I'm going to do is introduce a second layer of fence. Yes. I don't want it there, I want it there, because then it will line up more nicely. There we go. The idea of this is so that if two monsters walk in together, the first one will be hit by the first set of fence, and then hopefully the cooldown will have completed by the time the second one turns up, and then they'll get hit by that, and I won't need to worry about them anymore. There we are. We can bring down a few more peeps, so I'm going to bring down, I think, 5 more people. I think that's 4 more buildings. Yep. Brilliant. Tremendous. And I'm going to get guns, please, because I need them. And then, what else am I going to do with my life? Yeah, with the extra fence and with this for base defense, I should do slightly better with myself, shouldn't I? Yes, every single time somebody goes over there, that's going to trigger a monster. Right, well, at least we've all learned something. We've learned that Phil's a blithering idiot. Somebody come over here and get this crystal, right. There we go. That's bad. The whole fence thing is good, but this is bad. You're making a beeline for my granite grinder, aren't you? I can sense it. Where are you going from? Ah, I've uncovered a pathway, which means they can collect rubble from Jet, if all these people walk off and attack my base instead of just carrying across to the other side of the train station and then leaving, you're sacked. No, most of them at least seem to be leaving. That's good. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. This, my friends, is going to go very, 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 very badly. Oh. Right. Get the gun ready. Let me get you out of the way, actually. So fucking bad. Okay. Once they've started retreating, just leave them alone. Once they've run away, just leave them Leave them alone. Okay. If the support station goes down, we are going to have to rebuild it in the space of about 15 seconds. Okay, if you can believe it, which I'm not sure I can myself, we are still alive. Only by a small margin. But we are alive. Almost everything has about 12 holes in it. But other than that, it's all going really rather well. Okay. What a great cock-up that was. Oh my goodness. Right, lesson learned. I'm going to go and get rid of all those bits of wall. I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm going to do my utmost to get rid of as many of those bits of wall as I possibly can. I'm getting sick of all these monsters standing around. I'm going to do a bit of clearance, I think. Yes, I think this is necessary. I think this is both necessary and wise. So, hopefully they will handle the monsters one or two at a time. And in the meantime, I'm going to come in here, get rid of as many of these bits of wood. Maybe I do this. This is going to be a very slow process if I do this one at a time. But, okay, at least one of them has retreated. That's tremendous. It would be better to do this with a laser. Because if I did this with a laser, then this is bad. Oh, one of them gone to sleep, has he? Ain't that just lovely? Yeah, this is gonna go really freaking badly. Oh, for a large mobile laser cutter. What I'd give for a large mobile laser cutter. Because if I do this, it's just gonna keep spawning them in there. Yeah, probably. Probably, yeah. Okay. If you would be so kind as to leave him alone and stop being a big meanie face, I think we'd all be highly grateful. And, sheesh. I really regret putting up the monster strength. That was an immensely daft thing to do. Oh my goodness. Can I just send you to go home and get repaired, please, before you die? Oh my goodness gracious me. Where are the rest of them? No, don't. The Right. Okay. This is not good. This is going really rather badly. Right, you get repaired. Then I need to get rid of this cheeky Charlie here. There we are. Now I need you to get out of there. And you're not going for a sandwich? Oh, you are going. You're eating a sandwich you already had. That's marvelous. Right. What I'm going to do, I think, is use the laser on here, as much as it's not the best laser in the world for doing such things with. Oh, sheesh. I haven't put this in a tremendously brilliant place, because ideally I want to be able to shoot the monsters as early as possible, but now I can't even shoot them until they've actually already arrived, which is a wee bit of a problem. Oh sheesh, they're coming from every angle. Okay. It's good if they get boulders on the outside, because then they drop them when they come in. Okay, I think that's all of them. And everyone's just standing around, which is lovely. Which means there's no more sleeping monsters. Okay, that's all good. All of that I can live with. What I'm going to do I'm going to attack from the north, because it seems whenever anyone enters from the south, which I'm sure is intentional, it just triggers all of the walls to go off at once, versus when I'm coming in from the north, it seems like the rock is only triggered to spawn monsters when am I even on the right side of this wall? No, I'm not. Oh good, I'm so glad I've gone the wrong way. Oh, blimey. Yeah, if I use the laser, I might have to spend a few crystals and then Oh, I can go through that, what am I warning about? Sorry, I thought I hadn't even broken through. I am an idiot. I am going to try and use the laser to get rid of those walls, because they are just being a great big pain at the moment. So, this is, hopefully, going to be vaguely successful. I need to get close enough, ideally, that I don't spend crystals firing, but that I also don't. 4 blasts? Bloody hell! I know in the last video I was using like 2 large mobile laser cutters sat next to each other, but I'm crying out loud, this is ridiculous. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of time, but I think it's going to be time well spent, because time spent balls in up. One or the other. Okay, I'm going to try and... Okay, that is a new one. I've never seen them just go to sleep. I was talking about my children then, but no. I've never just seen a monster go to sleep. That is... in fairness, that phrase could still apply to children. No, I've never seen that. I've seen them go to sleep when they get... Sheesh-alicious. Sheesh-alicious on a Christmas cracker. Grand, get out of it. Run away! I've also never just seen them stand there. Okay, they were just standing there while they were waiting to go to sleep. Well, that's fair enough, then I can live with that. Fascinating. Fascinating. I trust nobody came over here and destroyed anything. Seemingly not. Can't see anyone. That was grand. Actually, I'm going to let you lot not do that for the time being, because it seems like new monsters don't spawn out of a wall, whilst previously spawned monsters that came out of that wall anyway, are still alive. So I'm going to try and take advantage of the fact that these two are alive to hopefully have fewer monsters spawning out of here. And then as soon as we've done this piece, we should just be able to clear out the rest of the monsters, and we should, fingers crossed, be relatively safe. So... with a little bit of luck, we'll be alright. So I am going to send this home, because it's just too slow and unwieldy at the moment to be much use to me. Well, the saying that does actually have a drill on, doesn't it? So I suppose now that I think about it, I don't need to worry that much about using the laser. Alright, I think that's I think I've talked myself into it. Oh my goodness, please, please, please say that we can have just a little bit of peace and quiet. I wanted a nice quiet recording session. Recording that Star Trek game has been absolutely exhausting. I've forgotten how bad I am at shooters. Okay. Hopefully there won't be that many more monsters. Not having the large mobile laser cutter has really highlighted how dependent I've become on it for defense. Oh, sheesh. That wasn't my bones creaking, that was the chair, if you can believe it. Yes, it is. The large mobile laser cutter really is unparalleled for its defensive capabilities. That upgraded double laser is just so powerful. Its ability to wander around. I shouldn't have left that on, sorry, I'm wasting time, aren't I? Clear these as well. Yes, the large mobile laser cutter's ability to to drive around and mine, whilst also being a very good point of defence for clearing monsters before they can cause havoc, is perhaps unparalleled in the use of a single vehicle. So I think that this will hopefully go slightly less disastrously than the last time, because this one didn't seem to spawn any monsters. And what I can do is drill through here. This is going to be slightly less efficient because, of course, drilling in on like the next wall up would be slightly faster, because then I take down 2 tiles for each unit of wall, but I don't really want to risk the rubble falling on it. So I'm going to clear my way through here, and then this should be another one of the major threats in the level sorted out. Well, that's interesting. If you look, the frustrum becomes sort of slightly angled if you're on uneven ground. That's interesting. I've not noticed that before. Oh my goodness, this is exhausting. There we go. Do you want me to mine out a couple of scenes for you little truck drivers, so that you've got something else to do with your days? Actually, you know what? I suppose I can do every other wall, because if I get hit by a couple of landslides and I get badly damaged, I can always just stop and go back to my original tactic. So I suppose there's not that much risk in the grand scheme of things. I'm actually sure I'm going to say. So, yeah, there we are. That's this little problem sorted out. This reminds me a bit of a little bit in Air Raiders, actually, which had a sort of narrow pathway of two tiles, which had hard rock on either side. I remember that being rather irritating, because the rock raiders would always run up there to clear the rubble, rather than clearing rubble and doing other jobs that were much closer to home. So yes, I am always pleased to see little bits that remind me of levels in the base game. Okay, we are not doing frightfully well on the crystal front. How many do we have in total? We have about 80, which is good. So we're about halfway there, if we include stuff that we've got in vehicles. So, you know, I've just realised something actually about this making vehicles essential. Not really about making people essential, but certainly about making vehicles. Is that you can't beam them up to get extra crystals, can you? I can't beam this Chrome Crusher up in order to get 8 extra crystals. I'm simply not capable of doing that. So if I want to get to 150 crystals, I'm going to have to do so by finding 150 crystals. I'm not going to be able to do it by let's find them. Presumably there were 4 in the seam and 1 on the floor. Yes. Kept seeing the little star above Axel's head there, and thinking that it was the eyes of the slimy slug on the Brickster's head. And I was about to say, I should get rid of that slimy slug because I keep thinking it's a real one. But of course it's not. Okay, is there anything down this way? Nothing that I can break through anyway. Okay, it looks like through here might be the next area of great interest. Zoom out a little bit and see sort of what we've done and what is left to do. This side of the map seems pretty much sorted. I'm going to not that. I'm going to send you off in sort of the this way's direction, I think. Yes. In the meantime, I'm going to get somebody. You shall do perfectly. Is there nobody in that trunk? There isn't. Yes, if you like. How about we race to the other end of the cavern where all the crystals are, and then we race back? How about that as a plan?
Good day.
So we try and trick children into taking the bins out by saying you'll race them. Or time them, anyway. I wouldn't advise doing it with a race, because then you'll have to do physical exercise, and that's never a good idea. Yes, I'm going to get somebody in the granite grinder so that we can start mining out a tad quicker. To deal with this problem as well at some point. But I don't want to do that now. I want to do that a bit later in life. So let's carry on. I like that this level started with an upgraded set of where? From the problem I don't want to deal with. Great. I'm gonna do what I said before and sort of try to take advantage of their aliveness by unaliving this wall. Can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to drill out everything that I can see in the vague hope of making some progress. So much smoke. Get miner's lung by the end of this. Okay, right. Stop. Okay, well we've cleared quite a lot out. I don't know if any more of these are going to have monster spawners in them, but for the time being, let's just be grateful that they don't. Okay, I'd forgotten how difficult it is actually to run two mining operations at once, because you can't queue walls to drill. Because if you do that, the different vehicles go and drill each other's things, which is irritating. So if I stack that one, for example, I think we'll find, yep, the Granite Grinder's already gone off to do it. Will he go off and do... Yes, he will. Okay, so if I redirect the Granite Grinder back to what I actually wanted to do, then it will stop following that sort of chain Steal it! Thank goodness for that! You didn't steal that one. Well, that's not good. That's not good. I want to get him sort of like under... Yeah, that'll do. Just enough that he, enough that he dies in the fence, but not enough that he, You're coming for him, ain't ya? You are. Yes, that's... You both are, as a matter of fact. That is not good. Right, okay. We're going to have to play a little game of follow the leader. Unless you're just going for another boulder, which is 5,000 miles away, which seems entirely plausible. Yes, you are. You're all playing a game of let's get the boulders 12 kilometers away. Well, you should die, and I should get my crystal back. Happy about that. This one I'm not overly fussed about, so actually I could just let people shoot him in the face and then people are grateful for that. You know what, just go home. Just go home. You are too much of a problem acting as bait. So please stop doing that. Oh my goodness. Now that I think about it, see, I can't beat it up because it's essential. I can't do that. But what happens if it gets destroyed? What happens if a monster destroys it? Does that count as like failing the level? Would you stop doing that, please? Because you're going to reveal a problem. I meant to turn that on, not turn it off. I thought I hadn't turned it on. That's why I was clicking the button. Okay, good. There's enough people there actually that they can kill a monster rather than just sending them home. Because I don't want to send them home into retreat if they're what are you doing here, you great galumphing goososaurus? Sorry. I don't mean to invoke such blue language, but you know I'm slightly stressed. I don't want them to retreat if they've got crystals in their belly, is the long and the short of it all. How much bloody hard rock is here? For goodness sake. Yeah, I thought this would be the quiet bit. I thought going over there where the undiscovered cavern with all the monsters sleeping in it would be the grand total of my issues in life. Alright, calm down. Stop panicking! I don't know why you're all panicking. I know why I'm panicking. Oh, sheesh. Right, okay, let's get a bit more of this cleared out. The sooner all of this is gone, the less spawn points the monsters will have, and less problems that will pose to me. Okay, we've actually picked up quite a few crystals in the intervening half an hour or so. We've got up to 120, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But no, I can't recall if I finished what I was saying. What happens if an essential vehicle gets destroyed? Can it be destroyed? And if so, is that a game over, or is it not? Is the essential quality just there to prevent me from intentionally or accidentally sheesh on a crumpet? I'm glad we've got some trucks here. If you could please all just, you know, sort of, how do I say this politely, shoot the ever-living hell out of their faces, I'd be grateful. Ideally, before all these crystals get eaten, would be lovely. Okay, I'm going to let them. Do you lot need repairs? Because I reckon you probably do. Yes, you do. Not you green goon. I really should have built this bloody laser in different ways. Right, that's the end of him anyway. Why do they keep going for boulders that are 7 miles away? This is so annoying. Right, I'm going to fix a problem I shouldn't have even created half an hour ago. I'm going to build a mining laser here so that I've got a much better angle for shooting people in the face. In fact, no, I'm not even going to shoot you in the face. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy your death. He's not dead, he's running away! I didn't damage him quite enough. Oh my word, this has been a level of bollocking up, hasn't it? Right, if I build this here, I might as well get rid of this now. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because it's the only thing connecting power to the rest of the base camp. So I'm going to reconnect here, and then we've got a new grid connection. We can carry on with our lives, can't we? With the new mining laser there, I should have a much better angle for shooting people, because right now I can only really shoot them once they're past the fence, and by then it's often too late. So I'm going to get rid of that so that I can have the resources back. Then I'm going to send you home because you're still just too much of a darned liability. Thank you for proving my bloody point. Right. And this isn't finished. Of course it's not. Came to save the day. Marvellous. Tremendous. Good news, gracious me, why do I fucking bother getting out of bed in the mornings? I don't really know. Right. Prepare to die. Very, very, very painfully. See, if they all got rubble there, then that would just make my life so much easier. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious me. A little bit of backup, guys. It's fine. These ones can retreat as far as they want. I don't give a damn. As long as they haven't eaten any crystals, I don't care what they do with their lives. Oh, what I'd give for a large mobile laser cutter right about now. Right, should we try this again for about the 17th time? Where am I? I can't even see myself. There I am. Okay, right. Please, just no more monsters for a little while. Just no more monsters for a little while. Just need to, oh, for goodness sake, here come the monsters. They're all coming to murder me. Well, they're not actually, they're coming to eat the crystals, which is pretty much as bad, if I'm quite frank. Maybe I need to get... I don't know whether I need to get more trucks, because the problem with trucks, right, is you reveal 3 crystals and then 3 different trucks come and get one of the crystals each instead of one truck coming along and getting all of them, which would be a much more efficient way of doing things. But never mind. Let's bust through here for no particularly good reason. Right, there's that one there who's probably going to get shot to death. And then there's this one here I'm not overly fussed about. Maybe I should extend the fence out even further. Yeah, I'm going to extend the fence out even further because, again, the sooner they die, the happier I am as a human being. Which is possibly a slight indictment on human beings that I'm saying that about an alien race. That has done me no wrong whatsoever. But here I am, all the same. Here I am. Oh, stop it, you big bunch of goons! This is such a pain in the arse. If we were closer to the base, it wouldn't matter that much, but the fact that they're so far away is just such an irritant. If I could keep a little sort of group of men, little squad on hand near my vehicle in order to defend any crystals that I might uncover, then that would be grand. But, oh, you've come back to try and help, have you? Right, okay. Fair enough. I guess I need all the help I can get. I shouldn't turn it down when I have the opportunity. This level shouldn't be called Taken for Granite. It should be... Maybe it is called Taken for Granite, because maybe it's making me realise that I've been taking the large mobile laser cutter for granted. Maybe that's the reality of the situation. Okay, they're spawning out of there, which I'm not overly fussed about, to be honest. If they want to spawn out of there, that's fine. I can live with that. Okay, we're up to nearly 150 crystals, counting everything that we've got. So we're about 2/3 of the way there. So that's not too terrible. I can mostly live with that. How are the monsters doing? They're all being shot in the arse at the moment, which is quite lovely. Okay, that's lovely. See, an interesting problem I'm encountering is that under normal circumstances I would just wander around, find the walls that the monsters are spawning out of, and just destroy them so that they can't spawn there anymore, and get rid of that as a problem. But the problem with doing that... Oh my goodness gracious me. The problem with doing that is that... Thank you, Jet. I'm very, very grateful. Could somebody other than you go and get that, please? No, I don't think that you're going to. Okay, right, I'm going to have to help a little bit. I want to kill him as quickly as is humanly possible. There we go. That's better. Good. That's that problem sorted out. Yes, but every time I go over and destroy a wall that has monsters spawning out of it, more monsters spawn to keep pushing me away from the wall that I'm trying to get closer to so that I can destroy. So, if I had a large mobile laser cutter, I could just shoot them as soon as they appear, but of course I can't do that because, well, I haven't got one. It's a state of bleeding nothingness. Shame. Really freaking bad. Okay, all but one of the crystals, all but two of the crystals. All but two of the crystals have been. Can you just go home, please? I wish there was like just a recall button. I mean, there is, telling them to go for repair. Bloody hell, it's irritating, though. Like, I'm just trying to send them away, but I just click nearby, and then it only takes the monsters a few seconds to get back there. Right, would you stop whacking my trucks, you great whacking wallabies? If there's a gap in the fence there, that means they can walk through without getting killed. I'm going to get really, really cheesed off in a moment. That's the end of... Okay, that's one of my crystals back. Thank goodness for that. And there's the other one back. Grand. Now, where are the rest of them? Where are the rest of the monsters? There's at least one still alive somewhere, except I haven't got Baldy's where he is. Oh, there he is! He's right under my nose, destroying everything I love. Oh, good. Sheesh. I'm so bad at this. I'm gonna blame it on not being properly hydrated. That's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking with it. Right. So it didn't really solve the problem last time, but let's pretend that it definitely will this time, and I'll just extend the layers of fence. Oh my goodness. I think after sitting in this chair for 5 years making videos, I have flattened the cushion out so completely that I might as well just be sitting on a slab of concrete at this point. Right, shall we carry on with our lives and not even try to guess the number of crystals I've lost to monsters? Where am I going? Might as well go over here. Oh my goodness. There's also this avenue here, but they don't seem to have been attacking fear there very much, but I will extend it a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. Okay. I know this is partly my fault, right? Like, I know this is partly my fault, because I think every time that we're getting two monsters spawning out of the same rock, thank you for manifesting yourselves at the worst possible instant. I know that that is probably my own fault, because I've got all of the danger sliders turned up. So I know I am partially responsible for that problem. I am cognizant of that fact. But at the same time, it's still getting under my skin. But now that these two are alive, I'm sure no more will spawn while I'm in the process of trying to sort this problem out. No. Oh, no, don't do that! You big blithering brickhead! So tired. I'm just so tired of being alive. Right, if you two would do me the greatest of favours and get out of the bloody way, I'd be grateful. Right, nobody can achieve anything because there's sleeping bloody monsters here. Great! Right, I need to do a quick reconnoitre of all my trucks because most of them seem to be badly damaged. So, if you could stop freaking flying or whatever it is you're doing. I know you're jets, I was sort of asking you for it, but my goodness. Okay, right. You know what else I think I need? I don't really think this is what I need because I don't actually think this is going to solve any of my problems. But maybe if we have some more trucks, this will solve the problem, right? No, it won't, because then we'll have less men with guns running around. So this is actually a really dumb idea. So I'm going to pretend that I did this because that's me and I don't want my feet to hurt by the end of this. So I'm going to pretend like that's the reason I did this. Right. Let's try and... Oh, would you lot just stop it? Let's try and get these walls cleared. Just leave me alone. No, you wouldn't, because there's 6 of these blighters around. Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious, mate. Would you come here a minute? Get this bloody star out of the way. I might see what I'm doing. I shoot him over the horizon. Oh my goodness, land is so tumultuous, it's throwing off my aim. Right, switch the laser cutter, the mining laser thing, whatever it's called. This, yes, here we are. At least... Notice a slight weakness in my base here. I know what will solve this problem. More fence! I'm sure more fence will fix this. Maybe it will, because then they'll sort of get hit when they're walking through here. I don't bloody know anymore. Could somebody please come and sort this piece out? Oh, shush, you bunch of silly billies. Oh, for goodness sake, I don't have time for such things. I've got a life to live, you know. I have to spend the rest of my life playing this level. Where's my granite grinder gone? There it is. Oh, sheesh. Right, what is left over here that we haven't dealt with? There's that wall, which I think is going to go into monster o'clock. Okay, so we treat about 30. That's interesting. If they don't, thanks, Sparks. Thanks a bunch. Is anyone going to build this, or are we all just going to sit there having a lovely tea party? Thank you. I'm grateful.
An energy crystal has been found.
Oh my goodness. I'm also going to do... I'm going to try and reinforce the power to the mining laser by making more avenues by which the power can get there, so that they'll have to destroy more pieces of path in order to knock out the power systems. So I'm going to try and make things more robust in that manner. Oh, I see! I see! I see! I see! The reason that we couldn't build the path was because some cheeky chappie decided to take a leaf out of the monsters book and pick up a piece of rubble that was about 17 parsecs away. Oh, for goodness sake, of course one bloomin' has. Right, well, they're coming from over there, so frankly, I don't give a rat's buttock. I'll do some mining over here, it's quiet. Vaguely quiet anyway. I don't want my exaggerated grumpiness to come off as if I'm not enjoying this level. I am actually. It is very nicely balanced to make it challenging, but not so challenging that I either don't know what to do, or that I feel as if I don't have a chance of doing this. I know I can do this. It's just going to be a slightly laborious task to get through this without losing too many crystals and without too many more of my hairs going grey. So tricky to tell sometimes whether they're getting scared of monsters or whether they're getting scared of bats. There's one monster, he's there. There we go. Right, that's that little corner sorted out. Let's carry on over here. Yes, there's a bit more to do, not an enormous amount left to do. Are they... No, they're not. They're coming from over here. Okay. That is a new one. It's no less of a pain in my bum. Oh, it's a new one. Oh, for a large mobile laser cutter. Large mobile laser cutter. Would you please go and get repaired before you get murdered? Actually, no. Don't go and get repaired. Go over there. Because why are you just standing around with nothing to do? Because there's probably no ore for you to collect, is there? Judging by the fact that there's 800 pieces that have been collected, I'm guessing a lot of that's been going on. Right, there we go. I just wanted to get her away from the pathway of monsters, because if you'd driven past 4 monsters, each one would have smacked her, and then the craft would have got beamed up, and that just would have been hell on earth. So, yeah. Despite the fact that the trucks are very speedy, particularly when they've had their engines upgraded, it does irritate me slightly that the monsters can still smack them as they're going by. If the animation was triggered slightly earlier, such that they actually sort of smacked the ground at the time the truck went by, I wouldn't mind quite so much. But the fact that they begin smacking the ground, the truck drives off, and then the damage gets incurred later when the truck's already a tile or 2 away is, you know, it's just slightly frustrating. It makes sense from a gameplay perspective, but it's still slightly frustrating from a purely intuitive perspective. But don't worry about it. I'm going to try and get rid of this bit of wall here, because again, a lot of monsters seem to spawn out of here. I'm going to stop saying I hope that we can do it without any monsters spawning, because there's some that have spawned over there, because I'm sure that won't be enough to sort the problem out. And they're all coming over here because of the crystals. That's bad. If you'd be so kind as to collect all of them, Axel, I'd be bloody grateful. Thank you. They're saying that. They're probably now just going to come for the granite grinder, aren't they? Is that what they're coming for, or are they going to meander off somewhere else? No, I think they're going somewhere else. That's good. Don't really know where they're going. And frankly, I don't care. I can go all the way to John O'Groats for all I care. I don't give a damn. Okay, let's frame this experience in a different manner. It's a psychology trick, right? You give somebody exactly the same situation, but you frame it slightly differently in terms of the words that you use in order to make them approach it or react to it differently. So I'm going to frame this by, I'm not mining out rocks, which are exposing crystals, which are then going to get eaten by monsters. I'm going to frame this as I am destroying monster spawn points, right? Which means there's less opportunities for monsters to spawn. That is how I'm going to approach this. And you've come back. You are like a bloody bad penny. You just keep turning up when I don't need you. For goodness sake, I suppose I should take what I can get. So, let's see if we can't clear a little bit more of these spawn points, and we shan't be far away. Hooray! We did it! It took me an hour and 20 minutes. Oh my goodness, we're not doing 2 levels. I would like to do a second level, but no, that's not going to happen. I simply don't have the time or the energy or the wherewithal to do it. What I would like to do, at least up until the point where I get sick of this and bored, is to try and clear out as much of the map as possible. I could probably turn that off now, actually. That would vaguely be wise, wouldn't it? Maybe I should bring down... I was going to say I could bring down a loader dozer, but no, that wouldn't really solve much of a problem with it. What I am going to do, I think, is turn off collecting ore, because that's not really serving much of a purpose. The people will still be busy because they'll have rubble to clear, but the trucks, I don't think, are really serving much of a purpose by collecting ore. I suppose the only possible advantage is if I'm drilling out an area and exposing bits of ore, then, like here for example, that's bringing a truck over, which means they're then that much closer when it's time to come over here and collect crystals. Rather than being all the way back at base camp. So now, for example, a truck is going to drive all the way over here, but a truck probably would have been relatively nearby here anyway, because they would have come over here in order to, I don't know why I'm bloody surprised. Okay, they're oddly not interested in crystals. I'm grateful for that, because that's giving me an opportunity to get rid of all of this crap. So that's fine and dandy. Where are the other 2? No, that wouldn't have been one. That was just somebody falling over a spider, wasn't it? Okay, I don't really know where they are, and that worries me a little bit, so I'm just going to turn action stations on in the hope of getting rid of them that much quicker, or at the very least so that people have a chance to defend themselves rather than just running away. So, in the meantime, I'm just going to carry on drilling all of this crap. But no, words. I'm not very good at them. I very much like this level. It's a nice balance of challenging, but not impossibly difficult. I like the little bit at the beginning where I have to sort of scratch my head a tad and find ways to keep the vehicles safe, whilst also finding my way to the base camp. So that was nice. I very much enjoyed that. And yeah, the monster spawning is a little bit challenging, but it's not overly frustrating to the point of not making this fun. So that's good. I approve of the balance. Whereabouts are we at the moment? I think we are back here? Yes, here. Here is where we are. So there's a few little odds and ends around here that need sorting out, including going through here, which looks like it accesses a new cave, so that's a little bit scary. Yeah, for goodness sake, from where? Is it from over there? No, I don't want to just use this bloody thing. Right. No, from right in front of my face. Right. Okay, fair enough. Go home. Go away from where you currently are. Again, I want action stations on because I want some people over here to try and look after these things. There was a crystal underneath, wasn't there? Yeah, okay. If a monster comes over here, which I wouldn't be surprised if one does, I'm going to have to try and... not that. I'm going to have to try and defend with this. But if they all just waltz away, then... Nope, you're not going to waltz away. Right. Is it laser eye surgery, or is it murder? It's murder. There's just no two ways about it. Did he eat the crystal? I don't know, but he's just twirling at the moment, which is lovely. Or did the truck come and get the crystal? I don't know. But he didn't get into a wall, so that's the only thing I bloody care about. Okay. Almost is gone. That's brilliant. Let's move on with our lives. This is not dwell here any longer than is absolutely necessary. Bloody hell. Yeah. There can't be any more caverns around here, so let's drill out this little bit and see what we find. And then there'll be a small-ish cavern here that we can have a little look at. And then, for crying out loud, I'm going to try and sneak them past so that I don't have to keep swinging them back and swinging them forward and swinging them back and swinging them forward, because every time I move people around, it's just causing delays. I don't like delays, especially when I'm trying to make these videos shorter, not longer. Are either of you going to come over here and attack these vehicles? No, you're not. That makes me a happy chappy. So I am going to come over here and do a bit of drilling. There we go. Just leave them to their own devices. Specifically the devices that fire laser beams into their faces and murder them. Those are my favourite types of devices. Apart from the large mobile laser cutter, which I think is quite possibly my very favourite type of device. I don't know what all these large mobile laser cutters are, but they better be put to good bloody use. That's all I can say. I expect a good sit down, a cup of tea and a sandwich by the end of this. Okay, that's all the monsters gone. Move on with our lives. Having two vehicles here actually is good. As much as I've slagged off the Chrome Crusher a bit for being a little bit lumpy and unwieldy, it is proving quite beneficial to have two things here to drill all these walls out that much faster. Okay, are we about done in this area? I think we are, yes. So the next thing I need to do is send somebody over to drill this wall, which is a wall on its own, so there's not going to be very much of interest on the other side of it, but I'm sure a monster will spawn as soon as we go over there. Then we'll have a little look at this area, and then I guess we're going to have to go over there, because I think that's the last little spot we haven't been in. I know it's not going too frickin' well. Are you going to turn around and need the crystals? Yes, you are. What am I going to do? What shall we do? What shall we do with the hungry monster? What shall we do with the hungry monster? What shall we... Would you go home already? What I want to do is get them under 100 points of health each, so that when they hit the fence they die instantly, so there's no opportunity for them to... Would you lot go home? Just please, for the love of your own silly selves, just stop standing in the ways of the monsters. Please have some semblance of self-defense. I rather wish the vehicles had some form of self-defense, right? I don't mean like a gun, I just mean like in the same way that the people run away from monsters. I wish if there was a guy just sitting in a truck, I wish he would just drive away from the monsters. I suppose my best opportunity to do that is to turn this back on, because then at least they'll be bloody moving. And there's one from here. Where did he come from? I don't know. But he set off the cooldown at an irritating moment. No, 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 no! Oh, for goodness sake, if he'd run away, if he'd got in the wall, I would have felt slightly more exhausted than I already did. Right. Let us continue. It's such a fascinating dynamic, because on the one hand, I am exhausted, which is something I feel in many a level, right? Like all the ones we've done recently. Rocky Horror and Back to Basics, and why are you flying up into the ceiling, you overexcited bits of rubble? But I feel exhausted for a different reason. I feel exhausted because I'm dealing with things I don't understand, rather than in levels like Back to Basics and Rocky Horror, where, at least for the vast majority of it, I know what I'm doing. Right? It's just the stress of doing it successfully. But now it's a very different kettle of fish. Okay. let's get this last bit of wall drilled out, and then we'll have a quick scoot round on the map and make sure I haven't missed anything. Is this one of the... I'm trying to remember if this was one of the ones that was actually tagged with short playtime or not. I'm beginning to think it wasn't. I'm beginning to think this might have been one of the ones that was tagged with casual. Because that was another tag that I saw, because I thought that might be slightly more relaxed, slightly shorter to deal with. My goodness gracious, man. If I weren't going to go and knock those walls down in 2 minutes, I would probably go and get them reinforced, which is possibly something I should have done a long time ago. But never mind. Good. When they've not been eating crystals, I prefer it when they retreat after hitting the fence rather than going to sleep, because when they go to sleep in a position where I can't shoot them, it's a tiny bit irritating. By a tiny bit irritating, I mean a large bit irritating. Right, let's come over here. Let's just check a few trucks, see if anyone needs mending. It felt like I activated someone a minute ago who needed mending. Yes, probably you. Right, let's bring the radar back over here. Stop it. At least they're near the fence. And near base camp as well, so I'm grateful for that. Right. Maybe a piece of fence there would be beneficial. Every time someone wanders through here, I am identifying new holes in the system and trying to address them as quickly as possible. I just want to get these walls sorted out. The sooner this is out of the way, the sooner we can stop. I know I don't have to clear the whole level, but I sort of want to. Where even am I? Here I am. Right. Oh, go away, you bludgeoning bozos. Yeah, let's break through here for no particularly well-defined reason. There we go. That's the end of him. I think if I was going to do anything... with respect to changing the sliders for future levels, I think what I might do is... I might just reinforce all of this, because frankly, I am so bad. I think what I might do is reduce the strength of the monsters back down to 100 points, just so that they die from one hit of fence, rather than having to hit them twice with the fence, because that is just such a pain in the arse at the moment. Because, oh, for goodness sake. Good, we got the crystals and we got out of there, which is the most important thing. Have we... No, we haven't even started repairing these. Bully. Yeah, bunch of big boulders, bullies. And we're gonna get drilled away. Great. Brilliant. That's amazing. That's just what I wanted. Why are you just standing over there? I like with the press of a button I can turn them from cowards into brave soldiers. I find that adorable. Right, never mind him. I can deal with him on my own. I just want people to go over and... No, I don't want someone who doesn't even have a hammer to go over and reinforce the wall. I want whoever was doing it before to do that. Because that would be vaguely efficient. Yeah, reducing them back down to 100 points of health might be a sensible thing to do. But I don't know. There are levels that don't have any monsters in them, which are advertised as not having any monsters in them, which might be perhaps one to go for in future. I don't know exactly how many custom level videos we will do before we head off and do the remaster campaign. That's not to say, of course, that we can't, you know, take a little break in the remaster campaign every hither until to play a custom level or two. So there's no reason we can't be flexible with things. But yes, hopefully we're nearly at the end of this one. There can't be that much more left to do. It looks like this is a dead end, so that's lovely. I love it when things are dead ends. Sheesh. Oh, bloody monster. monsters. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Not you, the vehicles! Don't need to redirect you, you can defend yourself. Right, I think he might have a crystal in his tummy. I don't think any of the others do. So, would you stop smashing things, you utter bastards? But you're just going for a vehicle, aren't you? Because you're just a great big bully. Right. Again, I think one of these monsters has a crystal in his belly. So, and if it's him, I'm going to cry. So I'm going to really hope that a crystal falls out of this one's ass when I kill him. Nope. There's another crystal gone. Good. Good, 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 good. I was so worried we might get all the crystals in the level, but never mind. Ah, watching you die brings a warmth to my cold, icy heart. Sorry, got a bit dark there for a moment. Right, never mind. Let's carry on with life. I hate losing crystals. It's just something that gets my back up. I've been relatively good at the base game. I was relatively good at the base game. I can't say that I am good at it anymore, as the video that we did on it demonstrated. I was good at it for long enough that it now feels just completely wrong to lose crystals, because that's a very low bar to achieve, and I'm getting really freaking sick of you monsters coming over here and eating crystals. If you would be so kind as to just stop being utter bellends for 5 minutes, I'd be blooming grateful. Would you stop collecting the people? I don't mean to select the people, I mean to select the vehicles, because they're the things that need to be mended. Don't know why I'm getting so grumpy, but I am. Just getting to the end of my tether, alright? Right. It's the end of him. Good. The more death we witness, which isn't of me or my people, the happier I become. Okay, let's break our way through here, and then we'll have a few sleeping monsters to deal with. Yes. Doesn't look like there are any over here, or any new caverns, at least as far as I can see, because the radar on this thing isn't very far. But yeah. Draw through here, and then there should only be this last little bit left to do, and then we can say that we are about finished, I reckon. You hold off on that for a second. How am I going to do this? With difficulty. With difficulty. So there's what? 6 monsters in there? Yeah. Okay. And there's also a little bit of hard rock there, which means there's a very good chance that a load of other monsters will spawn. So what I'm going to do is try and gather up these crystals before exactly that happens. Sparks, save the you nearly saved everything, but you didn't quite, and for that I am going to go and have a little cry after we're finished here. Right, if we can get these vehicles somewhere vaguely safe, and then would you please stop driving under the monsters? It's very, very annoying. I don't even care if this drains crystals at this point, I just want these bloody things to die. I don't know which one it was that had the crystal in them. I think it's the dark one, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, I think so. Yes, it was. Okay, good. Right. Do they? I think they might do. I was just wondering if the trucks had a kind of an auto recovery program, for want of better words. I need to do something daft. This wasn't the daft thing I had in mind, but it is daft, so I guess I sort of achieved what I set out to do. Again, that was freaking daft. just want to get rid of all these stupid monsters. So many monsters in this level. Right, let's take a few pot shots from across the canyon here. Don't shoot until you can see the reds in their eyes. I have lost a lot to you people, and not losing any more. Now it's time I do a bit of taking. If we don't count all the hundreds of monsters I've already shot. Right. We'll try this again. I just want to get rid of these last couple of monsters, and then hopefully we'll be finished with monsters apart from ones. Apart from those ones. Yeah. Apart from those ones. Bloody hell. Do you have a hammer? I should do, thank goodness for that. I've got a very important job for you, friend. Right. You, up in the atmosphere. I am so tired. I am so ruddy tired. Right, let me get rid of these last couple of souls. Here we are. Now, if you would be so kind as to stop getting frightened of the bats for 5 minutes, hopefully we can reinforce these.
Stop with the landslides.
I'm not fussed about the landslides. I would trade 20 landslides for every monster I've dealt with today. Happily, joyously, contentedly, pleasurably. I want to stop monster spawns. They can't spawn for a big old bit of metal.
Stop
Right.
with the landslides.
I'm so tired. I'm so ruddy tired. Let's just deal with this situation, and then we'll get rid of this last monster, and then everything will be alright. I don't think we can actually have any more monster spawns, because we've got rid of all the walls that could potentially do that. So, let's wake him up, and then send him home for a sandwich, because he's bloody earned one. And then as soon as he has been dealt with, which I will actually turn action stations on, yeah, I suppose I might as well. Can't really think why not. And then I'll bring the granite grinder over here, we'll get all of this stuff mined out, we'll collect the last of the crystals, and then we will stop. Sheesh. I wouldn't even wanted to do a 2-hour video across 2 levels. Doing a 2-hour video across 1 level is a little bit bananas, but here we are. Don't get me wrong, right? I enjoy playing this game a lot. I do. And I love seeing the custom levels that people come up with, right? Because they're always very innovative, always very creative, and they're often inspired to some degree by levels that we've all played. Like this one, the start of this one obviously has some connection to Run the Gauntlet. And that's lovely. But at the same time, doing a 2-hour level with this many bloody monsters in it and no large mobile laser cutter to defend everything is a tad exhausting. So it's not an indictment on the game, it's not an indictment on the level, it's an indictment on my lack of endurance. I'm just tuckered, alright? I'm just tuckered out. Oh my goodness, but there we are. That is it, unless I wander around and find that I've actually missed I have, haven't I? Fine. I mean, we've got to wait for a couple of people to walk their crystals back. On the off chance there's a crystal in there, which I don't think there will be. How much more can I zoom this out? Bloody hell, I can zoom this out a lot. Although saying that, isn't it? The pixels are so small now that I can't actually see the colour differences, because the difference between hard rock and solid rock is a very minor one. Oh, those little white dots are the electric fence. You know, I can't remember if the electric fence actually showed up on the, okay, there was a crystal in there. Okay. Makes up for one of the ones I lost, I suppose you could look at it that way. Oh my goodness, what a bloody mess I've made. Look, we got nearly twice the number of crystals that we actually needed in the levels. I'm sure the chief will be chuffed. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. It's been a really good level. I really enjoyed it. It's been a very, very fun one. I've got lucky with picking out a good one for doing a custom level with. But yeah, I'm still exhausted. I'll just do a little bit of highway robbery if you don't mind, because you're just a little too tardy for my taste. There we go. Why is the Brickster standing around and not doing anything? You lay about. Stop it. Right, let's dunk these in here. Tremendous. Huzzah! We did it. We did most of it anyway. We didn't get all of the crystals, but we got the vast majority of them. I think we probably lost about 4 or 5 to monsters, which is a damn shame, but hey ho. Oh my goodness, that was exhausting. The miners, their vehicles, and the base all reunited, and 150 energy crystals have been gathered. Actually 313, but by all means think whatever you want. Oh my goodness, that was exhausting. I downloaded 5 levels in the thought that the first one might not be too long and that we could perhaps do a second one. Perhaps I should pay more attention to the size of the level, because that's a 62 by 62, right? Versus, what were some of the other ones I looked at? That's one, which is only a 32 by 32. That one's a 62 by 62, that's another one I brought down, and then there were these two, that's a 50 by 50 and a 62 by 62, bloody hell. Yeah, maybe I should focus more on levels that have a physically smaller map, because then it takes less time to mine it all out and explore it all. But then the ones with the small maps, at least from reading a few of the descriptions, seem to have very tricky puzzles in them. So, on the one hand, it would be interesting to see what sort of puzzles people can introduce with the gameplay mechanics that we've got in Manic Miner, so that would be fascinating. But then on the other hand, I don't want to do a level on a mission that I can't complete, because then that makes me look like a tiny bit of a doofus. Yes, I've murdered about 150 of your brothers today. I'm sure you're very grumpy. I can't much say you're my best friend either. Right. Anyway, with all of that mania over, I will say thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed having a little look at a custom level. If there are any that you're familiar with that you'd like me to have a look at, then I'd be very happy to receive recommendations. Otherwise, I'll just play random ones that I find on the server which look of interest. Other than that, yes, I don't really know exactly how many more videos on custom levels we'll do. Probably at least one. And then, yeah, as I say, we'll probably go on to having a look at the remaster campaign, because folks have said they want to see it, so I guess we'll show it. And the series will carry on for like another 5 years, probably. But never mind. At least, I suppose I should be grateful that there were no slugs other than those first few ones that we saw having a snooze. And that is very interesting. I'm curious why the developer decided to program in a sleeping slug animation when in the base game, and indeed even in Bazmod, there are no sleeping slugs. Maybe that's something that they put in the remaster campaign, I don't know. But the concept of finding sleeping slugs is quite a foreign one. Because of course finding sleeping monsters is quite natural, but finding sleeping slugs is not something I've ever experienced. So that's interesting. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen, for all of this evening. One day we'll go back to doing short videos in this. Maybe when I start doing the remaster campaign, I'll just do Driller Night and nothing else, and it'll be like a 15-minute video, and I can just use that to feel like I make videos that don't last the entire evening. Ugh, it's just exhausting, but never mind. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.